The Horus Heresy, Siege of Terra. It is a time of legend. The galaxy is in flames. The Emperor's glorious vision for humanity is in ruins. His favored son, Horus, has turned from his father's light and embraced chaos. His armies, the mighty and redoubtable Space Marines, are locked in a brutal civil war. Once, these ultimate warriors fought side by side as brothers, protecting the galaxy and bringing mankind back into the Emperor's light. Now, they are divided. Some remain loyal to the Emperor, whilst others have sided with the War Master. Preeminent among them, the leaders of their 1,000-strong legions, are the Primarchs. Magnificent, superhuman beings. They are the crowning achievement of the Emperor's genetic science. Thrust into battle against one another, victory is uncertain for either side. Worlds are burning. At Istan 5, Horus dealt a vicious blow, and 3 loyal legions were all but destroyed. War has begun. A conflict that would engulf all mankind in fire. Treachery and betrayal have usurped honor and nobility. Assassins lurk in every shadow. Armies are gathering. All must choose a side or die. Horus musters his armada. Terra itself is the object of his wrath. Seated upon the golden throne, the Emperor waits for his wayward son to return. But his true enemy is chaos, a primordial force that seeks to enslave mankind to its capricious whims. The screams of the innocent, the pleas of the righteous resound to the cruel laughter of dark gods. Suffering and damnation await all should the Emperor fail and the war be lost. The end is here. The skies darken. Colossal armies gather. For the fate of the throne world, for the fate of humankind itself, the siege of Terra has begun. Part 1. From the night returned. The war. Father! He is waiting. He has always been waiting. In this place there is no time. Not truly. Not unless the forces within its tides dream it into being. Here, eternity is truth. Father! Slowly, with awareness and reluctance, he forms the idea of eyes, of a mouth, of limbs, of the chair beneath him. Far off, there is another chair, and a thread of thought and a will that tether him back to a place of metal and stone and time. Father, he opens his eyes. Darkness lies before him, extended through every dimension. Darkness, and him alone. In that moment, he feels the echo of every man or woman who has ever woken beside a guttering fire to see the night creeping closer as the flame light fades. The darkness becomes a black mirror. He looks into his reflection, a man on a stone chair, old, dark skin clinging to the hollows of his cheeks. Iron and snow streak his beard. The shoulders and limbs beneath his plain, black robes are thin. Dust marks the bare soles of his feet. His eyes are clear, and there are neither kindness nor pity in them. The chair and the man sit on a narrow stone platform. Behind him burns a wall of fire that curves up and away, blazing and flaring like the surface of a star. Their reflection changes. For an instant, a figure of iron and blades with cold furnace eyes is looking back at him from the throne of chrome. Then it is gone, and the reflection is a blur of images falling one atop another. A golden warrior standing with drawn sword before the gates of a towering fortress, a figure before the mouth of a mountain cave, a boy with a stick and fear in his eyes, a queen with a spear atop a cliff, an eagle with 10 wings beating against the thunder-threading sky. On and on, images tumbling over each other like the faces of cards tossed through the air. "Is there any truth in you?" asked the voice that comes from the dark. The image has vanished and the darkness hangs before him. It falls into the abyss beneath like a cascade of obsidian sand. "At the root of your lies, is there any truth, Father?" The darkness becomes a forest, dark trunks reaching to an untouchable sky, roots crawling out and down into the abyss beneath. The man on the chair is sitting on the snow-covered ground, a fire burning before him. A shadow moves out the dark between the trees. It is huge, sable-furred and silver-eyed. It drags the shadow with it as it comes forward. It pauses on the edge of the light. "You claim to be a man," says the wolf. "But that is a lie revealed to any that can see you here. You deny that you wish godhood, but you raise up an empire to praise you. You cannot call yourself master of mankind. And perhaps that is the only truth you ever spoke, that you wish to make your children slaves." The wolf tilts its head. For a second, it is not a wolf, but a bloated shadow, veined with lightning, its eye holes punched into a red furnace. "But this son," growls the wolf, muscles coiling under black fur, lips peeling back over teeth. "This son has returned to your cradle of lies." The wolf leaps. The forest blinks to a sheet of curdled black and migraine color. The shadow of a man reaches across the dark with hands that are claws. The fire flares, roaring up to become a burning wall, and the claws rake the blaze. Shadow burns to ash and cinders. The wolf recoils, howling. Lightning laces the dark of the forest. The wolf pads along the boundary of the firelight. Behind it, other eyes shine in the deeper shadows between the trees, bright and cold as the light the cruel stars. The man turns his head. He is not looking at the wolf, but to the blackness beyond. "I deny you," he says, "and in this place that is more real than life, yet as unreal as a dream." His words shake the dark like thunder. "Will you not even talk to me, Father? Now, as your empire of lies ends, will you not tell me the truth?" "You are shadows," says the man. "Nothing more. You offer nothing. You are nothing. You come with a puppet child, but you did not tell him why you need him. You need him because you have nothing that is true, no sword that is not a falsehood, no strength that is not a lie. You need him because you are weak. You need him. You fear him, and he will fail." Laughter fills the night, beating like wings, rattling with the sound of the dying trying to breathe, coiling over and over in chuckling loops. The darkness billows forward, stretching, coiling, squeezing. The man on the stone chair flinches. The fire bends and shrinks. The image of the man flickers too, and for a second, he looks like a corpse sitting on a throne, the bones of his hands gripping its arms in pain. He closes his eyes. The image begins to blur, as though seen through a dusty wind. The laughter rises higher and higher. It has always been this way, again and again, in countless forms and metaphors, death and darkness wearing countless faces. On and on the cycle, repeating and growing in strength as the night crowds hungrily in. And just as then, so now, there is only one answer to it. Murder, blood and endings, sacrifice and death. "I am returned," comes the voice of the wolf in the dark. "I deny you," says the man, as the image fades to the echo of a dream and laughter that does not end.